All right, folks, welcome back to the TNT show. Few things to talk about. Before we get into it, obviously, we got NBA Finals Game 4, and then we got contract situations in the NFL. Got a rookie holding out, and then just a couple other things. We can go ahead and jump into it.
Yeah, let's just start off with NBA with Game 4 tonight in Indiana.
Honestly, it's a must-win game for both teams. For Indiana, if you win, you're up 3-1. Great lead to have, especially in the NBA Finals. And for the Thunder, your playoff hopes are technically on the line right now because if you lose the game, you don't want to go down 3-1 because then Game 6 is going to be in Indiana, and that's this far in the playoffs. It's been a tough place to play and win. So,
yeah, I mean, okay, neither one of them can really, honestly, afford to go down. But honestly, I think Indiana's playing just a tad bit better. I think they're playing a tad bit better.
yeah, they've thrown that first punch from Game 1. I mean, Game 2, I feel like they weren't expecting the Thunder to come and punch them in the mouth
They weren't expecting that.
as a counter. But Game 3, they got back to what they were doing. They made the plays that need to be made, and down the stretch, they closed the game out. So if they can put another great game like that together, yeah, definitely a closer game. Great game. But if they can put another game like that together, I think they can definitely take that 3-1 lead.
If they win tonight, OKC's in trouble.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I still think the Thunder can pull it out. I just think, like I said, they can't lose tonight or they're in trouble.
I think it'll go 7 games, like you said. It'll be pretty back and forth.
For sure. I think it's just going to go back and forth. Unless the Thunder get beat tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Then it might go
6.
It might go 6. Because they'll let OKC win, and then they'll win at home in front of their crowd.
Yep.
So, but jumping to other news, obviously, let's talk about Antonio Brown first. I want to save the contract holdout to last. Antonio Brown warrant's been issued for his arrest for attempted murder for that shooting that he had at the boxing match a couple weeks or a month or a couple months ago, whenever it was. He's crashing out. I don't really know what he's got going on.
It's nothing to joke about, but I really think this is the CTE related thing. I'm not going to lie to you. Because if you look at his timeline of kind of how everything's played out for him,
ever since that hit, he hadn't been the same.
I mean, wasn't he on the Madden cover at one point?
Antonio Brown, yeah.
He was on the Madden cover. I mean, he was one of the greatest receivers in the league, for sure, top 5. And then he just slowly.
At his peak, he was the best. And I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah. I mean, he just slowly declined, and then he fell out of the league. And there was that whole thing with the Buccaneers where he just walked off the sideline. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, he won the Super Bowl with them.
Yeah.
And then the next year, he had that crashing out, right? It was the next year, right? Or did he not? Yeah, they won the Super. Yeah, he won a ring with them, right?
Well, I don't think so.
I don't know. I can't remember. I think he did. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was. He might have been on that team. I'm not 100% sure. Probably should have looked that up. But, yeah, I'm not really not sure what's all going on with that. Like you said, maybe that's what it is.
I think it's definitely got something to do with that, but then again, I could be wrong. That's just my speculation.
When did the Bucks when did Tom Brady go? 2020? Isn't that when they? Yeah, he was on the team.
So he got a ring.
Yeah,
Hmm.
with the Bucks in 2020. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure 2021's when he had that. Like he freaked out and done. Obviously everybody knows he ripped his stuff off and walked off. But yeah, I mean he was a Hall of Famer. Now he's just pissing it away, acting stupid. I think he already did that before that, but I
It's
don't
just
know. I just
unfortunate
think
to see.
it's. I mean, yeah, like you said, he was one of the best wide receivers in the game. You know, to see, he went like you said, he went from boxing to singing to rapping to being on people's podcasts to shooting at people. Man, he fell off hard. Sometimes you see it. Sometimes you see it. It's not uncommon, but ever since that hit that he received from Vontez Perfect, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
But on to other news. Shamar Stewart is holding out, and I didn't agree with it at first, but that's because I didn't really read. That's on me. I do agree with it now because I think that that's retarded. That you should have to. They're wanting you to basically work for free, from what I read, if I'm not mistaken.
In a sense,
Not work for free. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess technically,
it's like they get a portion of that guaranteed money back if he doesn't make it through his rookie contract, which
but that
again,
doesn't
like,
even make any sense. That you drafted
yeah,
him in the first round. Why would you? Why would you think he wouldn't make it?
that's what I said. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you drafted him in the top 20 and you're trying to say that, well, just in case, it's like a failsafe. We're going to get our money back just in case you don't make it.
Now
But
I can't. Now I see their side. I see it. I understand why they're doing it. It's an insurance policy for them as well. Let's say he goes out there and gets hurt. I get it. I see their side. I see it. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. I understand their side. I see it. It's just what I don't understand is how he can re-enter the 2026 NFL draft. I don't understand that. How is that possible?
well, I mean, he again, I don't know, because I felt like once you're drafted, you're kind of like
That's
a
in the
part of the NFL.
stipulations. If he sits out, well, technically, I guess technically he didn't sign anywhere.
Yeah, so he really technically could re-enter the draft because he never signed with the
So
team.
at that point, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just go try out for a team? Or do you just take your my thing is you're taking a risk going back into the draft. You're going to sit out a whole year of football. I'm not saying people are going to forget about him, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine he's going to train and whatnot, but there's no reason to believe he wouldn't go in the first round. Well, it depends on what talent's coming out too, so got to factor that
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, that's
I don't
that's
know.
that's my argument. Like, so are you guaranteed to go? Like, how does that work though? Because like you said, once you're drafted, he'd be better off just demanding to be traded. Just trade me.
I think at the end of the day, he's probably going to they'll probably end up working something out.
I
I
mean,
think.
they have till August, I think. I don't remember when the
So,
deadline is.
yeah, I
The
think it's till
trade
August.
deadline's August 4th, I think.
So they're going to have to figure that situation out because I've never really heard about anything like that though.
I haven't either. Unless you just either he's got a really good agent or people just don't read the fine print.
That too, because like I said, you never know what these other rookies are signing in their deals. They probably just don't, they're probably just gonna go with it.
Yeah, yeah. Because, well, I just don't. So at this point, he might as well just go back to college.
He can't.
I mean, if he can re-enter the draft, why not?
Well,
I
that's the
think.
thing. He
I
can
mean,
re-enter the draft.
I don't think it's going to do him any good to sit out because, like you said,
Well,
all the
you gotta.
talent that's coming out, he's not playing. So that there is an advantage. You're not playing, but at the same time, you're not playing. So that's a whole year that you're taking off.
Unless he just trains for the whole year, that's about the only thing he could do. Because he can't go back to college because he already gave up his eligibility.
Oh well, yeah, he got drafted, didn't he? Technically,
So
I don't know.
again, like I
If I
said,
were him, I guess I would just demand to be traded. I don't know what the Bengals are doing. They traded Jermaine Pratt, or they cut him, or I guess released him. I don't know what they're doing. They let go of him. Whatever happened, I think they just let him go.
yeah, they cut
They're
him.
not. They're not. Yeah, they cut him. So that was a captain of one of our captains on defense. So we're not. Doesn't look like they're going to sign Trey Hendrickson. They're not paying. They're not paying the rookie that they drafted. Could you imagine if they drafted like no disrespect to Shamar Stewart, but could you imagine if they drafted like Travis Hunter and tried to do this?
Man,
Like, hey man, we we are not going to guarantee you any money because we don't know if you're going to pan out. That doesn't even make any sense. That's like saying they basically told the whole world that they made a mistake. If you want me to be honest,
realistically, I mean, to take him top
if taking
20,
him in the first round, it doesn't matter. He's a first round pick. That's just where the Bengals pick. So with your first round pick, you're telling me you drafted a guy, but you don't want to pay him because what if he doesn't work out his rookie deal? Does that mean like for like an injury, or you're telling him that okay, you have to complete this contract in order to get a new one? Like Trey Hendrickson technically is still on a contract. He just wants an extension.
yeah,
So they don't have to do anything with him. He can sit out. They can literally force the hand and say, okay, we're just not going to pay you and make you sit out a whole year. Because he's a free agent next year. Well, I'm technically this year. But I don't know. That whole situation's weird.
yeah, the entire situation
I,
is weird.
I definitely don't want to go to the draft. I don't want to do that. I don't think. Because you got to think, all this talent in college is going to be coming out, but you can do your research. Okay, who's going where? A lot of defensive guys came out this year, but you're
Yeah,
not playing. But you're not playing, so you're not elevating yourself. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if I were him, I'd be very upset because I got drafted in the first round and my team doesn't even. I wouldn't say they don't want him. I just don't know the situation.
it's just a weird situation overall.
I wonder if they just don't have any money. I don't know if that's. Obviously it's a thing, but maybe you were right. Maybe signing T. Higgins was the death of. I mean, they can't pay anybody. Obviously, they can't. I don't know what the Bengals money looks like. I'm looking. I'm trying to think of like over the years, have they had somebody that was like didn't really pan out for them that they gave a lot of money to? Do you know? I can't think of anybody.
No,
Unless it's just they're speaking from experience. Because they have drafted some first round guys that suck. I'm just going to be honest. John Ross sucked.
yeah,
They
that
have
was a
that.
bad one.
I can't understand it. See, that's my point. I can understand to an extent I understand why they're doing it. What if he doesn't pan out? What if he gets hurt? What if he demands to be traded in 2 years? It's I don't know. I don't know.
I
If
don't think it's worth.
re-entering the draft is not. If I'm Shamar Stewart, re-entering the 2026 NFL draft, that's the last resort.
Yeah,
I'd be out. Look, okay. If I were him, I'd say, okay, I want a meeting. All right, here are the options. This is what I want. Either pay me the rookie deal, whatever it is, guaranteed. I'm not signing some stupid clause. Either do that or trade me. I want to play. You're kind of ruining his career if you're not going to pay him. Just trade me. If you don't want me, trade me. I'm not signing this. I'm not doing it. So trade me. So what is his trade value? Because he can demand to be traded. Do you think you'll get a first rounder for him?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean,
At
he
this point,
drafted in
they kind
first
of
round, but nobody's seen him play. And like I said, no disrespect to him, but he was not that great at college. He was okay, but he wasn't even the best pass rusher on their team.
at this point they'd have to give him up for almost probably little to nothing, if you want to be honest.
I'm sure it's a tough situation for him because, like I said, you got drafted first round, but I mean, the team you got drafted to, I don't know what they're doing. I wonder if it was. See, at first, I thought it was Trey Hendrickson telling people, okay, you need to get all the money you can. And then I read about it, and then it was saying that, they don't, basically, they don't think he's going to last. And that's stupid. But again, imagine if they drafted Ashton Genty or somebody like that and did the same
Man,
thing. Imagine they drafted Hunter.
man.
Could you imagine the Dion would be in Cincinnati right now? It'd be all over the news that they're not going to pay Travis Hunter.
Yeah, that's sports in the top 10 right there.
Oh yeah, it would have been bad. It'd be really bad if it was Travis. So, but I don't know. That's a tough situation for both parties. I feel bad for him. I didn't at first, but now I do. Now that I know the real stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully, like you said, hopefully they get it figured out whether he's a Bengal or not. You know, I think you guys at least do right. At least trade him. Don't be like that. Just trade him. If you're not going to do it, just trade him. So that doesn't. I didn't know that you could do that. I mean, I guess you could do whatever you want, but so how does that work? So let's touch on the re-entering the draft part. I didn't know that was a thing. So if you go undrafted, can you re-enter the draft the next year?
Uh,
I mean,
uh,
what difference does it make? You didn't sign. You didn't sign with anybody.
yeah, but I don't, like I said, in most cases, undrafted guys, they can go wherever they want to, whoever offers a contract. So a lot of times they end up going somewhere. If it's not the NFL, the
Yeah, a
XFL, or
lot of
the
the
Canadian
time,
Football League.
it's they'll get signed. Like Shiloh Sanders, he got signed to Tampa Bay. So
Yeah.
was he good enough to get drafted? Yeah, probably not. But undrafted free agent, I mean, you're not losing anything. So a lot of undrafted players are very good. Some of them are even Hall of Famers. So
Yeah.
you just got to go out there. I don't understand. I just want to know how you can re-enter the draft. I don't understand how you do that. How's that fair?
Uh Maybe that's just something that has to do with drafted players not signing a contract with their team that drafted them. Because that's the only reason. That's what that
Hmm.
article said. That's the only reason he's able to do that.
So, for instance, let's just say, well, I know he already signed, but let's just say Shador done this. This is happening to Shador. For a quarterback, that would suck. For a pass rusher, it's probably not that bad because, I mean, missing a year probably wouldn't be that bad. But for a quarterback to miss a whole year and not even get to practice, see, that's my thing. Does he get to practice with the team? Does he have nothing to do with the Bengals? Or, you know, how does that work?
I wouldn't imagine so. I mean, because technically he's not. He left minicamp, so he's really not with them.
So I think either they're going to trade him or they're going to either it's either going to be, well, obviously it can only be three things. Either they're going to hold to what they said. Either they're going to hold out on him, they're going to trade him, or they're gonna fix the contract. What would be petty is holding him till November and then trading him, because that's when the deadline is for something. It was like November something. It was some kind of deadline. I think that's the trade. That's the trade deadline. It's November. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I feel bad for him. That sucks. But
Yeah, but I can't say I'm surprised though.
yeah, I wonder how many rookies went back and looked at their contract to make sure that wasn't in there.
It'd be crazy if rookies started coming out the woodworks.
No, I'm pretty sure that their agent's looking at it.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
But it's just weird and wild that one person, that it's happening to one person. So I don't know. It's like I said. It's like I said. I don't see. I don't see how you can. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'd be upset. I mean, come on now. We're trying to compete for Super Bowls and trying to win games, but yet we can't pay anybody. You're not going to win. It's like we said before. The Philadelphia Eagles pay all their players, so they're figuring it out. Why can't we? I don't
Yep.
understand how the money works, but I don't know. What do I know? I
I
guess.
mean,
I guess this is why we're normal people and not NFL owners, because that doesn't make any sense. It's like you said, you're $1 billion franchise. You're telling me you're a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and you're telling me that you can't afford to give this rookie. I don't know what's the first round, like 20 million,
uh
something
whatever it
like that.
is, regardless of what it is, however much guaranteed money you're telling me as a billionaire, multimillionaire franchise, you can't go ahead and just give him his guaranteed money and call it a day.
Yeah, it's not like you're giving him $500 million. He's a
Right?
rookie. What they get? What, 4 years? He might get what, 20 million, maybe. I don't know how it works. I don't know what the rookie deal is, but I'm pretty sure it's something like that.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what the rookie skill deal is after you come out of the top 10. Like, I don't know what their
I
numbers
think
look
it's I
like.
think it's 20 million. I think there's like an average. So I think there's like quarterbacks get a certain amount, wide receivers get a certain amount. Obviously, running back. I think it's a scale.
Okay.
I'd have to go look and see what Abdul Carter got. It wouldn't be as much, but it'd probably be pretty close. He'd probably get probably about 20 million if I had to assume he's a first picks. So, but that's Basically, all the news we got. You got anything else?
Mm, nah, I don't think I got anything else.
So now that it's set in stone, how much time we got before I get into what I'm fixing to say?
We got about 10 minutes.
Okay. So now that it's set in stone, obviously Aaron Rodgers is on the Steelers. I know we touched on it last week. So where do you see what do you see for the Steelers now that he's kind of it's real?
Uh, Probably about what they did last season.
You think they'll be an average team? I
I
think
would.
they have the potential to be pretty decent. Here's what I would do if I'm them. No disrespect. I don't think they're gonna pay TJ Watt. I don't know if they are or not. So if you're not, you gotta trade him and try to just maximize Aaron Rodgers. You
Not.
got DK, so he has the number one receiver. I don't really understand why they got rid of George Pickens. That didn't really make any sense.
It was probably a money thing, if I had to guess.
Yeah, they probably had to get rid of him because they're probably going to pay TJ Watt.
Yeah.
I think they have the potential to be pretty good. I could be wrong. I could be wrong because everybody said that um, when he went to the Jets that they were going to be good. And what happened?
That was a dumpster fire over there. I don't know.
So was it him or was it the Jets? We're going to see
Uh,
because you got to think the first year they fired their coach. Aaron
yeah.
Rodgers basically got all these demands, and they suck.
He also tore his Achilles in the first season, so you really don't know what a healthy Aaron Rodgers in year one would have looked like.
That is true. Yeah, he did tear his Achilles, didn't he?
Not even 5 plays into the game, tore his Achilles. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, yeah, he didn't even make it through a drive.
So, like I said, Steelers, I think their ceiling is probably divisional loss. And then the floor is probably like they barely make it over 500.
So yeah,
It's just too many teams that are better than them in the AFC.
mm, I mean, yeah, well, yeah, when you're looking at it from that standpoint, yeah, but I don't know. Who knows? We may see MVP Aaron Rodgers come out of this. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Could. I mean, like I said, you didn't really see a healthy Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. I mean, yeah, year two, but he was coming off of the Achilles injury. So, I mean, maybe last season just wasn't his peak coming off the injury. Sometimes it takes a little longer.
I think Will Howard. I don't. I think Will Howard's going to be a starter by the end of the season if Aaron Rodgers doesn't pan out.
He'd have to play really bad for them to play Will Howard. I mean, like really.
Mike Tomlin will do it though.
Yeah, if anybody would do it, it's him. I mean, because he wants to keep his streak alive of winning seasons, of course. But
So
that's a better
I think
question. That's a better question. When do you think the Steelers are gonna have enough of? All right, we have a winning
enough's enough.
season. We make it to the playoffs. We lose in round one before they say like we need a new coach.
Honestly, I thought this year was going to be. I thought that. So you can trade coaches.
Yeah,
I kind of thought they were going to do it,
it seemed
but
like it.
at the same time, I mean, he's been there for what? He's been there for a long time and never had a losing season. There ain't a lot of coaches that can say that. So he's probably got weight. He probably got pull. Like, you're really going to get rid of me? Who are you going to sign? Some bum that can't even win you games? At least I can win you some games.
Yeah, it is facts. I
I
just
think I think it's gonna if let's just say they're mediocre. I think it's gonna be this year. I think they're gonna let him go. I mean,
could be.
you
We'll
gotta take it
see.
with a grain of salt. Aaron Rodgers is 41. I highly doubt. I could be wrong. Might be eating my words here, but I highly doubt he's gonna come out there and win MVP. Like you said, there's just way better quarterbacks. He is in a good situation. Don't get me wrong. Pittsburgh's a good place to play. They got a good defense. He won't have to do too much.
I
I mean,
mean,
let's just be honest here. Let's just be honest here. Russell Wilson made the playoffs and he looked like trash for Denver. So if Aaron Rodgers can at least just come in and halfway look decent, they're gonna win games. Justin Fields won them what 4 games.
yeah, he was four
So
and two as a starter. So
so yeah, and then Russell Wilson came in because he was finally healthy and he's just a little bit. He was just better than Justin Fields. And that's just fact. That's facts. It's just facts.
just more consistent throwing the ball. That was if Justin Fields could be far more consistent throwing the ball, he'd be really great. He would have still been with the Bears, I think, because the only reason the Bears let him go is because he
Was
wasn't
the
consistent enough.
inconsistency? Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's
just wasn't consistent enough as a passer.
so. Um, yeah, I think ceiling. Obviously, I think they'll make the playoffs. Think they should be. I don't know. The Steelers are in a tough division though, so they're going to have to get through the Ravens and Cincinnati. I don't know about Cleveland. I don't know how good they're going to be. So,
Cleveland's gonna be a hit or miss this season.
so I don't know what they're planning on doing. They got a 5 quarterback circus going on over there. So, but they got
Yeah,
to
they
get
do.
they got to get through Baltimore and Cincinnati. So to win the division, so they can still make the playoffs, but two pretty tough teams. So, but yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, no, that's it for me too. The only because now that I think about it, the only thing that I do have is they're talking about, and I mean like seriously talking about, making men's college basketball 4 quarters and not two 20-minute
Seen
halves.
that. I've seen that earlier. Yeah, I've seen that. What do you think about that?
I, honestly, I feel like I feel like it's the same either way, because you're still gonna get
I mean, I guess
cut
it's just
commercial
not.
time. You're still gonna get
It's just not as you're not on the court for as long as for like the long stretches.
yeah. I mean, you get
I
obviously
guess you're kind of breaking it up.
the little breaks in between quarters, and obviously you got your I don't know because I think that takes away if they do 4 quarters. I think that takes away the media timeouts because the media timeouts were for the 20-minute halves. So I think it'll
Yeah,
be. I think it was about time though because every other sport has done it already. So it just
yeah.
like I said, it just makes sense. It was in due time.
And if you're going to extend the amount of games they're playing, they're on the court for a lot. I mean, it's still the same thing. It's still the same thing.
Exactly.
You're just not on the court for 20 minutes. You're only on the court for 10. You're kind of getting a break in between.
Yeah. Plus, you might as well change the format to what they're going into the league for. So
Yeah, the league's what? Yeah, the league's 4 quarters. So you might
yeah,
as
four
well.
quarters and it's like 2 more minutes. So it's 12 minutes a quarter instead of 10.
So yeah, why? Yeah, because yeah, that way they can get used to playing four quarters instead of just two.
Honestly, they
Because you
might
can
as well
tell,
just
you can
make
tell sometimes when they first come into the league, they get a little gas because you're playing 4 quarters. It's still the same time. You're just playing 4 quarters, not two.
I mean, honestly,
So
they're playing a little longer too, because you got to think it's 8 more minutes that you're playing. But personally,
yeah,
I think they might as well just go ahead and make college 12-minute quarter too. It's only
yeah,
eight more
might as
minutes.
well. Yeah, just do exactly what. Yeah, because I mean, you're getting them ready for the league, the professional. You're getting them ready to play professional sport, basketball, football, whatever their rules and time frames and regulations are. I think it should be the same.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it should all be the same.
But yeah, no,
Whatever, time frame, whatever that stuff is, just make it all the same across the board.
across the board, yeah. But yeah, no, that's it for me.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, as always, if you made it this far in the episode, tell us what you think about this whole Shamar Stewart situation and what you feel about it. We always look forward to what y'all's thoughts and comments are. So that'll pretty much do it for this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one.